Hello, and welcome into our 3A-4A chat as we're talking a little bit of everything high school football, and we've got some great announcements we got coming up for you. We want you to stay with us today. It's going to be a fun one today here on the Arkansas High School Sports Network. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that share button for us and let everybody know that you're watching this right here on the Arkansas High School Sports Network. And let us know, are you liking what you're seeing on the Arkansas High School Sports Network? Man, we are excited about what's going on with the Arkansas High School Sports Network. In fact, let me see if I can pull this up while I'm on here. Oh, nope, that's not the right one. But we're reaching like 500,000 right now on the Arkansas High School Sports Network, and as far as I know, that's a high for a 28-day reach on Facebook. 500,000 people. Couldn't do it without you, and we want to make sure that you are hanging in there with us. And anyway, we're excited to be here today to be talking about some high school football. So again, hit that share button, let everybody know that you're watching right here on the Arkansas High School Sports Network. It helps us if you go to YouTube. We get a little bit of money off YouTube if you can help us out. And guys, this thing doesn't happen without money. We got some great sponsors that have sponsored with us. Man, Carlisle and Hazen really stepped up. Mount Ida, you guys stepped up. East Poinsett County, those last couple football games, you stepped up. We're about to get ready to get into basketball. Clinton and Bauxite coming up on Tuesday night. The toy toss game at Clinton, we're going to be there. Coach Matthew Post invited us there, and we're excited to have a part of that 4A-4 action. So, yeah, we haven't forgotten about basketball and the rankings. You guys are loving the rankings. And, man, we're doing a lot of things right now. And, man, we're just loving it. We're just loving what we're doing. We've got some plans in the future. Unfortunately, it is kind of, pushed by money. If we don't have the money, we're all grown people here. You know how it is. If you've got a family, you understand. It's all pushed by money. And some people say, well, you're being a money grubber. No, we're not being money grubbers. Ain't nobody getting rich doing this right now. But anyway, we'll stop talking about that for just a minute, and let's talk a little bit of football. We're also going to have some MVP talk as well. MVP down to the finalists right now. And we're excited about that. You guys have responded well to that, and we couldn't be more excited about that. So let me get into this real quick as we talk 3A state championship game. Man, who's excited about Boonville and Charleston? I mean, 15 miles apart. I'll give you a little story about Charleston. We've done, for a couple years now, we've done the Pottsville live stream. Pottsville traveled to Charleston for a early season matchup, and we were having trouble getting our live stream out. And this was really when we started doing this. I had no idea that it was going to evolve into what we're doing right now. And we were slated to be at Charleston, but I knew Boonville was close. And Reed's Barbecue, I don't know if any of you know where Reed's Barbecue is, but man, if you haven't had Reed's Barbecue, let me tell you, it's one of the best places in the state of Arkansas. And anyway, we had some Reed's Barbecue. Well, we didn't time it out right, and we got to Charleston just in time for the ball game. And if you know anything about live streaming, you know you don't need to be there just in time. You need to be there 30 minutes early, an hour early. And we were told that we would have internet there, and the internet was a little bit shoddy. And but we were able to get it out. We ended up having a great ball game, that Pottsville and Charleston ball game. And that was just 2 football seasons ago. I believe quarterback for Charleston and Brandon Scott. I'm pretty sure he was the quarterback for Charleston that night as a sophomore, if I'm not mistaken. So anyway, we got people watching comments. Bill's going to be watching YouTube for me. Let me know. But yeah, if you have the ability to switch over, we would appreciate it. Don't make me just go YouTube only. But Anyway, yeah, Bill says road construction. That was a thing. Yeah, it was. We got it. Actually, one of the things that caught us was that we ended up behind some road construction, and we left Reed's in plenty of time, but we ended up there right on time for the ball game. But anyway, we still had a good time. It's been a great time what we've done over the last 2 years. The growth has been tremendous. I promise you, I would have never thought in a million years that we would have two sites that were over between them 50,000, and man, it's man, I don't know, great. It's just been great. I can't even begin to tell you. With that being said, let's talk some football. Booneville Bearcats and the Charleston Tigers here. They're just 15 miles apart, as we said, and here they are. They're going to play in Little Rock for the state title. The two teams have matched up earlier in the year. The interesting part about this matchup is the fact that Charleston won the first game at Booneville. Booneville was missing several players. I believe 9 has been the number that I have heard. They were missing 9, and Charleston won that game pretty handily. Charleston's got 1 loss on the season. It was to Nashville. Booneville's got 2 losses on the season. 1 to Harding Academy, 1 to Charleston. Charleston really, they rolled at Rising last week. They really wasn't much of a game down there against a very good Rising football team. Booneville had a little bit more of their hands full with Melbourne. Melbourne was a good football team. They really gave Booneville a challenge, but Booneville is always up for the challenge. Interesting about these two teams, one of the things is Doc Crowley's a Charleston guy. He's a guy that graduated from Charleston, the head coach at Booneville now. So that's an interesting matchup, or interesting part of this matchup. And anyway, it's when you have these two teams that are this close. You know, we had this last week when you had Hazen and you had Carlisle together. You have two teams that are this close. You've got, probably cousins on each team, and family members, against family members. I mean, it's a cool thing, especially if you can keep it right. But the rivalry is there. It's nice. Just getting into some guys here, talking about a few of the players. Wiley Carroll, Bryson Hendricks, both big-time leaders on the defense. Dale Smith is also a guy for Charleston. Brandon Scott is the quarterback, and Brandon Scott was a guy that we considered for MVP. And I'll be honest with you, one of the reasons why we didn't get him in there was because we never did get any stats for him. Nobody. In fact, I saw somebody talk about how that they didn't keep stats, and I thought, that don't make sense. But Brandon Scott was a guy that we could have definitely got up in there. And according to Hootens, he has 2,515 yards passing, 29 touchdowns, and 4 picks on the season. So he's had a fantastic year. He, again, according to Hootens, he's completed 75% of his passes, 25 TDs, and 1 interception against 3A competition. He's got Reese Marechka. He's got Brighton Ketter, and he's got Bervin Ketter and Titan Jones, all big-time receivers. 818 yards to 378 between those 4. Bervin Ketter's got 16 touchdown catches on the year. So, I mean, what a great year for Mr. Ketter. 9 touchdowns for his brother Brighton. I mean, 25 touchdown passes between those guys. You've got catches. You've got 11 touchdowns for Reese Marechka. Marechka. Got it right there, I believe. Marechka. For Booneville, Peyton Tatum has Dax Goff, who was a nominee for our Arkansas High School MVP. He wasn't able to make the final cut here for the finalists. We'll talk about them in a minute. Cody Elliott and Trace Hall they all rushed over 1,000 yards this year. In fact, the Booneville backfield has combined for almost 5,000 rushing yards this year. 9.4 yards a carry. It's pretty amazing year in and year out what Boonville does on the ground. Every year, they come in and you think, well, gosh, they've got to have a downtime, but unfortunately for the teams that they play, they don't. They just continue to reload. So fantastic game that you got coming up, 6:30 p.m. War Memorial Stadium. On the 4A side of things, another fantastic ball game with two finalists for MVP between Owen Miller and Jalen Dupree of Malvern. Owen Miller of Harding Academy, Jalen Dupree of Malvern. And Harding Academy is going for their fourth straight championship. We already have Bryant, who has a state record of 5 in a row on the 7A side of things. Never been done. Here's Harding Academy, who has moved up from 3A to 4A. I don't think anybody expected Harding Academy to be here. Don't get me wrong. Everybody knew Harding Academy was going to be good. But did they know that they were going to be here? I don't think so. Malvern, was a team that people did talk about early in the season. One of the teams that I talked about early in the season, having an opportunity to possibly play for a championship. And you've got big-time offense at Malvern, Cedric Simmons, a guy that has been talked about now for a long time. Last year suffered an injury that he only played 3 games, but he has come back with a vengeance this year. He's one of 5 seniors on this roster, which is pretty amazing. So just 5 seniors for Malvern. That's big time. He threw for 5 touchdowns against Nashville. He's thrown for 2,359 yards, 21 touchdowns. He's also rushed for 1,119 yards and 20 touchdowns. A guy that nobody nominated. Think about that. Cedric Simmons was a guy that nobody nominated for our Arkansas D3 Auto Sales Arkansas High School MVP award. Nobody talked about him. That's pretty amazing. Jalen Dupree is a guy that they did talk about. He's rushed 266 times for 2,541 yards, 34 touchdowns. He is definitely one of the top running backs in the state of Arkansas. And Dylan Carradine has now got 1,000 receiving yards on 49 catches, 9 touchdowns caught this year. He caught the game-winning touchdown pass against Warren a couple weeks back. And then you've got Angel Perez on the defensive side of the ball, 2 interceptions and 109 tackles for him. Harding Academy was down 21-7 against Arkadelphia, and I don't think anybody thought that they would be able to come back, but they did come back and scored 3 straight. I watched that game on Friday night. They come back and scored 3 straight, got the momentum. Arkadelphia came back and tied the ball game with about 6 minutes to go. Harding Academy just took the ball right down the field on them and scored. And then you got to talk about Kyle Ferry. Kyle Ferry's a guy that we saw it against Boonville. He kicked a 55-yard field goal, which is 3rd in the state, 3rd in the record books in the state of Arkansas for the longest field goal in the history of Arkansas. 57 yards is the longest. 56 obviously is the next longest. 57 yards was actually kicked in 97, I believe. Anyway, Kyle Ferry, he kicked a 55-yarder that night. We wondered out loud if that was a state record, and it wasn't. It just fell a little bit short there. It wouldn't shock me if Kyle was able to get that record at some point. Senior defensive lineman Levi Mercer was also a nomination for our D3 Auto Sales Arkansas High School MVP award. He did not make the final cut, but man, what a fantastic year he's had. He is, if he hasn't gotten it already, he's closing in on the the career sack record, I believe, and maybe even the single season sack record as well. Kennedy Rush and freshman linebacker Cam Pryor, big-time defensive players for Harding Academy. Heath Griffin had 101 yards and 3 touchdowns in the second half. And Heath Griffin, he's rushed for 814 yards and 16 touchdowns on the year. But Owen Miller's a guy that we have seen seen a lot, because after that Harding Academy game, we started paying attention to what he does. He is a finalist for the D3 Auto Sales Arkansas High School MVP Award. He's thrown for 3,200 yards and 36 touchdowns. And, Kyle Ferry's a guy that has already committed to Mississippi State. He's the punter and the kicker. So, I mean, there's a lot of talent over there in that game. It's going to be a lot of talent. It's going to be a lot of fun. Harding Academy beat Arkadelphia. Arkadelphia beat Malvern. But when you look at the matchups, could Malvern match up a little better with Harding Academy? I guess we're about to find out. 12 o'clock on Saturday at War Memorial Stadium. It's going to be a lot of fun this weekend. These are the last two high school football games for the year outside of the All-Star game, which is May, June, something like that. It's going to be a lot of fun to get a chance to close the season out with these four fine teams, I should say, and really two awesome games. But anyway, let's talk a little bit about the MVP award. So, unfortunately, I wasn't able to get them up because of the way I did the graphics. It would look stupid. In fact, let me just show you what it would look like. This is what it would look like if I went ahead and put it up there. So we'll save you that. But we've got 6 finalists. We actually had a tie. So let me go back to the voting here so that everybody kind of knows what's going on with the voting. So we've had people all over the state vote. Randy Rainwater was a voter. Richard Davenport was a voter. We had several guys across the state that voted on this thing. So it wasn't just us that voted. It was several people around the state. We had Aaron Weatherford was a guy. I don't know if he's on the stream right now, but Aaron Weatherford was a guy that voted. A guy that keeps up with high school football quite a bit. And anyway, there was a lot of voting. It wasn't just the Arkansas High School Sports Network crew that did this. So anyway, we had them vote on their top 8, and it came in, and we did have a tie in the top 5, so that's why we released 6. And so now what we're going to do, we have re-released the finalists. There's 6 of them. You as a fan get a chance to vote on this opportunity for your player. So your vote will count. You'll go 6-1, and this is how the 6-1 will work. The one with the least amount of shares will get 6, and the one with the most amount of shares will get 1, and then that will be tallied in the books. So how we will vote, I should say, is that we'll send it back out. Everybody that voted will vote again, 6-1. They'll number their number 1 guy 1 all the way down to 6. And then we'll tally those up, and then the fans will get their vote in as well. So it's not going to take over the voting, but you get a chance to vote. So all you got to do is share your guy out. If you've already shared your guy out, just draw attention to it on your social media. Try to get people to like us here on the Arkansas High School Sports Network and the Arkansas Sports Network. If you haven't subbed to us on YouTube, do that as well. Those are the things that you can do to help us and help us get out there. The more we get out there, the more sponsorship that people are interested in sponsoring us. Excuse me. And just the more opportunity that we have, the better numbers we have. We have now topped 28,000 on the Arkansas High School Sports Network. I believe when I took over with Alan Russell, we were like 22,000. So you guys have responded to what we're doing, and we do appreciate everybody that has responded to us. And it has been a lot of fun, and I think that we've got some big-time plans for the next year because of how that you've responded to us. So we appreciate everybody that's been a part of what we're doing. We want you to continue to be a part of what we're doing. If you know somebody that might sponsor some stuff, basketball, we got state tournaments coming up. It's probably the biggest thing that we do. No, it is the biggest thing that we do. Last year on the 5A state tournament, we did 100,000 views. So players of the week, stuff like that, we're appreciative of that. We're going to stay with this MVP thing. We're going to do it in basketball. So we'll do a boys and a girls MVP in basketball. So we want you to be a part of what we're doing here. But Anyway, with that being said, make sure you share out your guy, okay? If you've already shared out, make sure you draw your attention to it and say, hey, help me out. Share this guy out because, like I said, we're going to tally at 1 to 6. The one that gets the most shares gets a 1, and then so on. So the fans will get a vote in this, but it won't be the entire vote. In fact, it'll be very little in the long scheme of things. So if you're worried about it being a popularity contest, well, it's not going to be because we've got 21 people that are voting in this. So anyway, with that being said, we appreciate everybody that's joined us here today. Like us on Facebook on the Arkansas Sports Network, especially if you like Razorback coverage. If you haven't given us a like here on the Arkansas High School Sports Network, do that. Go to us on YouTube and subscribe to us on YouTube. Again, I can't tell you how much I appreciate everyone that has joined us, been a part of what we're doing. It is it's a lot of fun, what we've done. Again, on basketball side of things, we're going to start next week. We're going to be at Clinton for Clinton and Bauxite. We've got a big one coming up in a couple weeks, and we will find out what's going on. I can't tell you exactly right now. I have to get the absolute okay for it right now. But as soon as I get the okay, I will put that out there. That one could be a huge one. If you're a fan of basketball, tune in to us on the Arkansas Sports Network. Last year, we were at games with Darian Ford, Joseph Pinion, and Nick Smith. We tried to get Jordan Walsh, and you almost have to chase them across the country, but we were all over them. But we're going to get some big time guys on. Plus, we're going to try to do some small schools, big games over there as well. I mean, you can't beat it, guys. So please continue to join us as we continue on this journey that we're on and trying to just get the best high school coverage out there. And who knows? I mean, there's some big-time stuff out there that we're going to be able to do here in the future. So, again, 3A, 4A championships. 4A starts at noon on Saturday at War Memorial Stadium with Malvern and Harding Academy. And then you've got Charleston and Boonville at 6:30, War Memorial Stadium. And then, again, the MVP voting. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick a winner this weekend. We will release that winner next week. And you don't want to miss out on that. Again, we appreciate your participation on that. It's been great. So anyway, well, guys, I think this is going to be enough. I'm going to wrap it up. I'm not going to be the long-winded preacher that just keeps you here just to keep you here. But I appreciate everybody joining us here. If you enjoy these live streams that we do, let us know. We can do more. We can talk basketball. We can set a time and possibly get coaches on and different kids. If you really enjoy what we're doing, we just need you to help us out, get it out there, help us get it shared out. Anyway, guys, thank you for joining us once again. We do appreciate it. We will be back soon and maybe talking next week about the winner of the Arkansas High School MVP Award. And thank you to D3 Auto Sales. Guys, give them an opportunity. You get $500 off a buy just by saying that you heard them on the Arkansas Sports Network. But anyway, guys, I'm out of here. We'll see you later, and get them shares out there.